So after I made my last video on the story writing of The Last of Us, I noticed a little bit of things about how people actually defend the story. And I will have to say, everybody has the right to their opinion, and so you can like the story, it's fine. But if in this video you want to give unnecessary hate, then I would say don't comment at all. Like, here's the thing, if you want to be critical of my views, go ahead and comment it. But then be a little bit respectful about your opinions. I do not want to see people saying that I'm not a story writer because I am not able to understand the story. This is not just me, a lot of people hate this story. And we have seen the downfall of The Last of Us 2 TV show. So there has to be a reason that is valid and the reason why people don't like the show. And so in this video, I'm going to exactly discuss major 3 reasons as to why The Last of Us 2 season failed. So without any further ado, let's begin. And I'm gonna start this video by addressing the biggest reason and the elephant in the room, Bella Ramsey and her acting. And I'm not talking about her looks. I'm not saying that her looks are bad. I look bad as well, but I'm not gonna say her looks are bad. The point that I'm trying to make is that her acting sucks. Her expressions suck. You can literally put Bella Ramsey's footage by the side of the video game footage and you will realize how much less expressive Bella Ramsey's Ellie version is. And for those people who are saying that in the season 1 Bella Ramsey did a good job with Ellie and acting as Ellie, they are completely wrong. Bella Ramsey's acting was completely carried by Pedro Pascal, because let's be honest here, people might not like Pedro Pascal either, but if I'm being honest, he killed it. With the given script and the given role, he actually killed it in his role. He absolutely played the best he could. And to be honest, Pedro Pascal was probably the best cast in this whole show, apart from Jesse, of course. I do like Jesse and Tommy's cast as well. But Joel's cast, Pedro Pascal, was amazing in his acting. And he was the reason why season 1 succeeded in the first place. Bella Ramsey's acting was bad in season 1 and it was horrible in season 2. And let's be honest here, those people who defend Bella Ramsey and call her like she is a good actress, let's be honest here, she got all of these roles like served on a silver platter. She did not work hard for these roles. There are other people who actually auditioned for these roles, who look a lot more like Ellie, who act a lot more convincingly, and who could have played significantly better as Ellie. But here's the thing, they did not do that. And that leads me into the next reason as to why they did not do that. But another reason that I want to say that people who criticize Bella Ramsey's looks, they are not all wrong either. Because let's be honest here, I'm not saying Bella Ramsey is bad. In fact, I would say she's pretty good looking. With that said, Bella Ramsey doesn't look like Ellie at all. It's like saying that I can play the role of Dante when I'm not as nearly as tall or lean or sexy as Dante. Because let's be honest here, Dante's supposed to be look like that. Dante's supposed to have that cocky nature, that sexy attitude. And with that, he needs to be having those looks as well in order to play that. It's one of the reasons why TV show of the Tokyo Ghoul series also failed. It's because in Tokyo Ghoul anime, Ken Kaneki looks a lot more different than the actual adaptation and the cast that was taken for the Ken Kaneki character. Now, if I'm being honest, Pedro Pascal was the one who was carrying this show all the time. And as soon as he died, nobody wanted to watch Bella Ramsey. Let alone Bella Ramsey being given a bad script. Now, if I even for a second think that Bella Ramsey is a decent actress, she still is not able to do more because of the bad script that she has been given. And to be honest, in all of this situation, I don't blame Bella Ramsey at all. I think she's also a victim of all of this. She's the victim of bad casting, she's the victim of bad writing. But at the same time, I also don't think that she's a good actress. Now, the second reason why this whole show is failing, and I've said this before, if you are making a show, you should keep politics out of it. If you are making a story, you should keep politics out of it. And in this show, they doubled down on the politics that they already had in the game. Now, I'm not saying anything against the whole woke agenda, but let's be honest here. Politics, if it's conservative or liberal, doesn't matter. It does ruin the show. And if this show is going to be based around this whole political narrative, which it clearly is, and if you anybody who says that this game is not based around political narratives and agendas, is completely blind. The story is supposed to be set in a post-apocalyptic world that is suffering. You can't have political narratives in that story and then also keep it convincing. Even if it's conservative politics, it's still not going to be convincing. You should keep politics out of story writing, but this game and this story doubles down on the politics that it already had within the game of The Last of Us 2. And this also alienates a lot of those audiences who might not be of the same political spectrum. They will obviously not watch your show. Now, I am not anyone who is against woke or liberal or conservative ideology. I don't care about that. But the fact that they put these political agendas and narratives and whole pride flags, etc. within their show just to represent this, while they cannot even add the recoil of the shooting of guns, it kind of makes the whole show look cheap, because you're just trying to present one thing as much as you can while you are also compromising on the quality of the other thing. Like literally in the scene where they were defending Jackson, people who were shooting guns had no recoil in their guns. It was literally all done in post, and this is so horrible. It shows a lack of artistic value in your show and a lot of unnecessary messaging in your show. Now the third reason, and this is the reason why The Last of Us game also failed. Now I do think that the game was still far superior than the show, but the reason why the game also failed is the exact reason why the show is failing now, and that is Ellie's character. In the game, Ellie is still better than the Bella Ramsey's version, if I'm being honest, but even in the game, Ellie is this cocky person who thinks she knows everything and can do anything, and at least in the game she shows that she is capable. In the show she is not even showing that she is capable. If anything, they have made the version of Bella Ramsey's Ellie even dumber, which I don't know why is the case, making Ellie dumb, because Ellie's supposed to be super smart, but they did it anyways. And Ellie's character is very unlikable because she kills everybody in the game and then finally leaves the one person who actually killed Joel, who actually went after Joel. And I've said this before, in an ideal game of a revenge story, they should have still given us the option to kill Abby or leave her. And that would have been a very bold decision, because a lot of people are saying that it was a bold decision to kill Joel. And yes, killing Joel is a bold decision. But at the same time, if you are trying to make a bold story, then be bold enough to have two different endings. In The Walking Dead, they never shied away from giving you the option to kill one person or the other. That is why the whole Walking Dead series is so amazing. And nobody hates female leads, because in The Walking Dead, we had literally Clementine for 3 seasons be the female lead of the show, and she's an amazing character. And I'm actually gonna make a direct comparison video on why everybody likes Clementine while everybody hates Ellie. But here's the thing, Ellie's character in game and in the show is quite intolerable. And in the show, they intentionally made changes in order to make look Joel even worse, which is even far worse than what they did in the game, because in the game at least we knew that Joel was good. But in the show, they intentionally added some flashbacks to make Joel look like he wasn't as good of a person. And trying to make Joel look intentionally bad doesn't work and doesn't resonate with the audience, especially those who have played the video game. They have been Joel in the first game. We were not seeing the story of Joel, we were Joel in the first game, and it was the same feeling that we got from Pedro Pascal's acting. I'm being honest, I loved how good Pedro Pascal was as an actor in the show. Like, yes, I'm gonna say that there could have been a better cast, but he killed it with the role anyways. So with that said, I would like to conclude my video. I will have to say that these are the 3 major reasons: bad casting, bad story writing and unnecessary political pandering, and then also the whole character being changed for the narrative to look more in the favor of the author. This is not working. And the reason why this is not working is because it's not resonating with the audience. And yes, you can disagree with my opinion, that's totally fine. If you want to criticize something in the video, be respectful in the comments, be a little more knowledgeable about what you say, and don't just start by saying, oh, you are not a story writer or you are not an animator. Those who have been on this channel know that I am actually an animation artist, and I'm actually working on a short film currently. I don't know how far that project will go, but what I'm trying to say is that I might not be any of those things that you are saying, but I'm still an audience and I do have my opinion. and nobody deserves to disrespect my opinion. I have seen this very common in the case of The Last of Us. One audience which is hating the show is automatically considered to be all of these things like anti-woke or misogynistic, which they are not. They are completely not those. I was actually liking the whole Last of Us season 1, and even that show had a lot of political pandering, if I'm being honest. But I did not care because the story was genuinely good. But in the season 2, they completely butchered it, and I'm being honest about it. That said, if you like the video, please drop a subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.